starts the here starts the second part of the uh, analysis, and I'm going to do the same process of the visualization of the Google mobility and COVID-19 daily cases over time for Bangladesh. So I will just uh, basically do the same process. So I will basically copy the my previously written code, and I will modify the code for the cases for Bangladesh, and I'll do the same process for for Bangladesh. So here the process starts. Analysis of the Google 19 daily for Bangladesh. So basically, the Bangladesh, uh, the the overall cases, total cases of the COVID-19 for Bangladesh is enlisted in the TB2 data frame. So I'm going to basically copy. I'm directly going to copy the code for the finding the daily case of USA, and I'm going to modify this code for Bangladesh to get my expected result. So here you see that the difference bit I found the difference between all the rows of the first column, but Bangladesh is in the second column. So I'll just change here with 2, and I'll change, and everything else will be same as before because the row names of the date column and other things will be same as before. So I'm just going to paste the whole thing, and I'm going to say it's the second column. I'm going to say it's the second column because the second column is Bangladesh and daily cases. Okay, fine. Daily cases BD. I'll tell it the daily cases as BD. BD means Bangladesh, and this is BD. And the row names of the 2v2 column, that means 2v2 column, the the row names of the previously written TB2 column. This is the TB2 column. So the row names of the TB2 column will be the dates. So the row names of the TB2 column will be the date column of the daily cases BD. The TB2 column's row names will be the date column. So I will take the row names of the TB2 column and convert it as a year, month, day in the date format, actual date object, and then I will assign that converted value to a column in the date column because daily cases BD does not have the date column. Then I will tell that the row names of the daily cases USA will be the date column of the daily cases BD. So let's see. Yeah. First of all, I found the daily cases of Bangladesh. Then I assigned the date column according to the row names of the TB2 column that was created earlier. And then the row names of the daily cases BD column will be the date column of this daily cases BD data frame. So the final output looks like this. After finding out the daily cases, what I'm going to do, the I'm going to plot the uh, daily cases over time. So plotting the daily cases of Bangladesh over time. So I'm going to call the ggplot2 plot and gdplot. Then I'm going to provide the data frame name daily cases pd, and I'm going to tell the aesthetics of the data frame x equal date and y equal will be the daily cases, well, with the first column of this data frame. So daily cases BD, all the rows of the first column, all the rows of the first column. So daily cases BD data frame, and then there is the aesthetics, and I want a point chart. So I will be saying that it will be geom point, and I want the color of the points to be red, same as before, geom point, and I'm going to tell the status mode as span point 3. Okay, so I missed a thing. Parenthesis stat underscore mode, and the span will be 0.3, and I'm going to give a title, GG title, and it's like the daily cases of USA, Bangladesh, daily cases of Bangladesh over over time, and I'm going to tell the X level name. That means X level is time, X level is time, and the Y level will be daily cases, daily cases. So now the plot looks like for Bangladesh. Seems like the Bangladesh has two peaks. Okay, so this is the plotting of the daily cases. Now I'm going to load the Google mobility data and do the same stacking process again, and then I will merge the two data frame. So I'm going to just copy and paste the previously written code of mine for the USA, and I will just uh, uh, do it for Bangladesh. And I loaded the my data frame. I loaded the things like uh, I have the Bangladesh data here, the Google Meter. So I have to just change the names. Google data of Bangladesh. So GM GM20. So I'll be telling that the GM2020, and here it will be BT because Bangladesh is the short name of BT. Here it will be BT, and here it will be, oh sorry, BD, and here it will be BD. So if I load the data from now, it seems like that Bangladesh has this data frame. So I will just copy the previously written code because I want to stack the whole data frame, whole three data frames. So the procedure is quite pretty simple. So uh, I will take the code from here and stack all the three data frames together. That means I will row bind all the data frames so that these three data frames does not remain as three individual data frames. Rather, it would be stacked one after one so that it comes around as a single data frame. So I'm going to tell it as TB1 and TB2 because the uh, previously assigned value was TB1, and the names for BD, I guess. Oh, I did a mistake. So I did a mistake. I have to change it because otherwise it will take the values for USA because GM21 is as assigned values of USA. So so and otherwise it will be very helpful for me to distinguish between two different variables, two different data frames. So I'm going to just change the name to BD, change the name to BD, and switch the name to BD. Okay. Then I will select this select uh, uh, and I will select or drop all the rows. Like I want to drop this one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I will drop 3 to 8 columns, and I will keep the date column. And the summarized version of this data frame, I will call it as summarized 1 1, summarized 1 1. Then I will use the summarize one to group by using the dates and try to find the mean of each date. Uh, and I'll call it the summarize 2. So summarize 1 and summarize 2. Okay, fine. I'm all done, I guess. Okay, I guess I will start with change the name a bit because that will help me to. This was just one and one and 2 1. Okay, fine. So this is the date column. I have here the date column and all the relevant information about the data that I need. Now I try to find the most recent and most uh, the furthest date. So I'm going to the data frame again and just copy and paste this and modify it according to my own data frame, current data frame, so that I can get the expected results. So I will just change that TBGM all summarized this thing and uh, I will take the date column of the TBGM summarized one and I will minimize and maximize it to find the expected result. So finding the start and the end of the data frame. Then what I'm going to do is I will filter the daily cases of BD because I created the daily cases of BD here between these data frame, this in these two dates, so that I can merge the two data frame together later on. So I will just copy this code from here. I will just copy this code from here and I will try to find out the daily cases of Bangladesh that two that two expected date interval. So daily cases of USA VD and it started with 2022 15 and it end with 2029 16. So it becomes similar and daily cases of BD it will be daily cases of BD and filter start and end and daily USA here it will be BD daily cases and it will be BD daily cases and I'm going to find get the daily cases of BD. So after getting the daily cases of BD, what I'm going to do, I'm going to merge this data frame with the Google Mobility data frame that I have created so far earlier. This Google Mobility data frame with this data frame. So I'm going to just copy the previously written code regarding this. So I filtered the USA things and I'm going to copy this code because this is the merging of the two data frame that I merged for USA and I'm going to modify my code for Bangladesh. Google together and here the BD daily case it will be BD daily cases and the name of the data frame is tbgml summarize 201 by one equal to merge the data frame together and gm covid merge and I'm going to call it in a different name like merged one. So I'm going to take the row names of the merge I'm going to assign the date column of the merged covid-19 date column of the merged covid-19 as the row names so that it will have a row name and so I'm going to basically so I'll show you that this is like here I mark the two data frame and here's the date column and I'm going to assign the row names of this data frame as the date column of this of the as the date column of this so the date column I take the date column and assign it as a row. So this is the line of the code. So I have all the things now I have to scale the data frame so that my visualization looks pretty. So for scaling the data frame I'm going to copy this code and just modify it for Bangladesh so that I can get a better visualization and to paste date scaling the data frame and my data frame is called uh, GM COVID March 1. This is my data frame. So I'm going to change it and select all the rows from 2 is 1 2 to 8 and I will scaled one and I'm going to call it as a scaled one as like the before and I'm going to call it a scaled on date. I will uh, I'll basically do the thing like I'll take the uh, I'll take the merged data frame. So I merged data frame. So this data frame basically, if I see this, like I commenting out it, and if I run the code, if I run the code, sorry, if I run this code command, and if I run the code, you will see that I created a data frame which has no date column basically, I guess. There's no date column. So I will take the date column of this data frame, GM COVID merged one, date column merged one, and I will assign is the date column of the newly created GM COVID merged one scale data frame. So now if I run this, you will see that there is a new data frame, and this data frame has a date column with it. So it will help me to visualize the data. Now I'm after the scaling process, I'm totally done with it, and I'm going to take some variables and plot the thing. So I'm going to copy the uh, code for the USA and then modify it for Bangladesh. So this is the porting of the Google Mobility, and I'm merged scaled. Sorry, this will be the Google Community merged scaled one. I didn't modify it. Now it shows like that. This is the actual data from for Bangladesh. Scale one. So I want to know the names of the Muscle one, and basically the names are always same. So I will select the columns of regarding these names workplace for baseline, because all the names are same. Daily cases, parks from recent change from the baseline, workplaces, and residential percent from the baseline. Then I melt this data frame, and the measured variables will be like this. Select columns, and value names will be values, and variable names will be variable. And I'm going to call it as GM Covid melt 1, because I'm always changing the data frame name, because it is a new data frame. It will not be similar as before. So I will ggplot, I'll plot the data frame, and x-axis it will be date, and y-axis there will be values of these measured variables, and the color of the variable, and I'll select assign the color as variable, and static mode spoon up to 0.2. So let's see what it looks like. So it seems like that this is the this is basically the uh, daily cases versus and Google mobility data representation of for Bangladesh uh, from 2020 to 2022. And the basic difference between USA and Bangladesh is that, when the pandemic started, when it was picking up the daily cases, when the cases picked up, people stayed more at home in the initial period, and also the people went less to the workplace, and went less to the parks. But and this trend was pretty, and this trend was uh, pretty similar everywhere. But here you can see that the daily cases peaked, and residential people stayed more at the home, and the residential percentage of going staying in the home also peaked. But the workplaces percentage also was downgrading, was downward, and also the parks percentage was downward. But here in this here after 2022, people did not really uh, uh, maintain social distancing, or maintain restrictions for COVID-19 in Bangladesh. That's why the daily cases was when the daily cases are peaking, uh, people stayed more at home. At the same time, the workplaces and the parks percentage from baseline was increasing. That means that people were not that much careful about the situation, and people totally ignored the social distancing and restrictions that were imposed upon them. So that's how these two countries basically differs from each other in maintaining the social distancing and imposing the restriction on the COVID restriction imposed by the government. So this was basically my whole coding process for the project one. If you have any question, you can ask me in my mail. Thank you everyone for your patience to watch the whole process.